It was fast. He's been poignant.
You are an expert jester, newly assigned to a far-off land, with a proud yet frightened people, and a leader who is heavy and strong and kind of hot if you ignore the fact that he never shuts the fuck up. You are his closest counsel, and this has required some major rapport building on the fly, like Kung Fu lightsaber of empathy shit. Today, the leader is hangry, and he wants a joke that is funny to relieve the hangry. Be funny! Jester, one time I had a dream that the leader was looking at his shadow, and I felt like, what would it be like if I walked right into the shadow and was lost forever, just to be a part of something that was, you know, real and relevant and whatnot. So I walked right into his shadow, and then woke up with the sensation that I had wet the bed, but had actually just sweated so hard that I soaked the sheets. The leader laughs at this joke and shows you his bare feet, which have perfect nails. You both take a moment to smell the clouds and look into the sky. You feel warm and smug and tight. Jester, one time I had a dream that the leader and I were alone in the middle of a dance floor in space. We were looking at our feet, admiring our moves, and then all of a sudden I look up and the leader is gone, and all I can see is my own reflection in the mirror. And then I say, fuck you, and it echoes forever until I wake up. The leader laughs and you smile. This is a funny game. Jester, one time I had a dream that I had these weird stains on my skin, and they started to peel off in patches, and I thought my life was over. And then I was like, well, this is the universe teaching me a lesson, and I'm going to use it to make something of myself. And then I was like, fuck the universe. I am not a project. And then I woke up, and I was crying real tears. The leader laughs and holds your face in his hands. He makes a joke about something called the invisible self, and you don't get it. Jester, one time I had a dream that I was walking in circles with you around a swimming pool in the middle of a very, 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 very big kitchen. And I said to you, is this how it feels to be you all the time? And you said, what do you mean? And I said, you know, just to keep walking in circles. And you said, hey man, these are your circles, not mine. And I looked up and I was all alone. And then I woke up and felt like I didn't deserve anything I have. The leader laughs and gives you a fist bump. Jester, one time I had a dream that I was running through these tunnels, and I thought it was a video game, and I was winning, but then I got to the last tunnel and realized it was a nightmare, and I was like, fuck this nightmare. And then I woke up and I realized I was still in a nightmare, and I was like, fuck this nightmare. And then I woke up for real and realized I was in a dream. The leader laughs and punches you in the arm playfully. Jester, one time I had a dream that I was dancing on a dance floor in space, and the floor started to move really fast, like it was spinning around really, really fast. And I was like, what the fuck? And I woke up and realized I was actually just moving my legs really fast in bed. The leader laughs and you realize he's about to cry. You look at his face and you see his tears, and you realize that he's not a project. And he's not a project because he's not a problem. And you're not a problem either. The leader's tears fall into your hands and you feel warm and soft and full. You put your hands on his face and look into his eyes, and you are like, I love you. And he's like, I love you too. And you're like, I love you more than I love myself. And he's like, I love you more than I love myself too. And you're like, we love each other more than we love ourselves. And he's like, yeah. And you're like, let's get married. And he's like, okay. And you're like, I do. And he's like, I do too. And you're like, we do. And he's like, we do too. Holy man, we get it, we get it. Get a room and fuck about it, why don't ya? The trip isn't complete without the message. But go ahead, trip it up. No message, trip it. Let's get jive white. What's the no message message? Cough it up. What's up? if there's nothing for us to hear, no piece of bread for the masses, it's fine. It's completely fine. Nothing happens in all 80 days, I get it. Very fitting. Holy man! Nothing happened in those days because nothing ever happens. We get it. We know this. Everything we think is happening isn't happening. There is no bread, no bowl of rice. All roads go nowhere. We're shit-stained. Don't go looking for clean skirt. Dirt under our nails is the rule of thumb. Why do I feel empty-handed now without my message? My bread. My chicken salad sandwich. I feel uncomfortable when the crowd demands from me, and uncomfortable when it doesn't. Gah, fuck me, man. I look out over the rooftops and all I see are people in ditches, holding bowls up to the night sky, looking for rain to come so they can fill them up. Look out. No further, I'll end it here. The rain will never fill your bowl. Drink this beer. Life is an infinite act of bowing to the vanity of this task. Here's your beer. Holy man, never enough for you. You came to us to learn to hold all of it in the palm of your hand and still be empty, and it seemed unbearable, so now you know the unbearable and you want to push it back. Well, it's here to stay. By empty, do you mean loose, unstable, and just out there? You know, because I prefer even keel and normal and not out there. Maybe you're the drink, holy man? Holy man. Yes, I'm a drunken liar. Well, now, that's just bullshit. This is all sounding like shit. Holy man. No, it's shit that sounds like shit. The answer is always that it's all a farting piece of human shit, covered monkey shit that we are expected to hold meekly in our hands and not die, just smile at the gods and wait for further instruction. So my breath is my voice. All the gears of all the clouds flow through me. A little creepy, oozy feeling that shakes it up, tosses it out, and what have we? A miracle message come loose from my heart. This is a quote from C.L.R. James's Mariners, Renegades and Castaways. He speaks of what happens when the labor allows themselves to touch the fact of power over them. When you have scaled the world to the heights which shake you, you return to the rubble from whence you came, embedding disabled. Click here to see a static image. To request access, please contact email protected. Who are we kidding with our precious messages about people with no power that go all the way to the bottom? Dying is the most pathetic metaphor for someone with no power. If you really look at someone who is about to lose their life and isn't clinging to the gunwales, you will know why they don't worry. That is, power is a story about possessions and position and prestige or lack thereof. When a beggar refuses alms, it makes perfect sense. Holy man, makes sense in a world where beggars often get more than the giver, where a worthless man wears the brightest hat. A simple mask. The person everyone thinks is a clown is also a great mystery to solve. What you see here is not for eyes that are heavy and old. Those who feel they see and hear and smell more than most of us. Those who see the funny bone when we can't. The picture can show you what the world looks like, but you must look past it to the beyond. This is your world. It is as simple and complicated as your own eye. When I come to die, may I still enjoy laughing and throwing things, hitting a tree with my hand, doing anything to kill my deathbed, and spending my life exactly how I want. One day I might climb over that one last hill and say, I'm home, without my staff in my hands, and I'll know it's over. It will be my own flesh touching its home again. It will not be too heavy or too sad or too loud. It will be my flesh, my bones, my rock. When a beggar looks at you, do you laugh at his sight? No. When he speaks of his hatred of all men and his belief that he has died twice already and will die yet a third time to escape from this world he says he loves, do you dismiss it as crazy ranting? What you see here is not for eyes that are heavy and old. Those who feel they see and hear and smell more than most of us. Those who see the funny bone when we can't. The picture can show you what the world looks like, but you must look past it to the beyond. This is your world. It is as simple and complicated as your own. I think of a city, an amusement park, and all the different people you meet there. When you are young, you have no concept of power. When you become aware of the complexities of relationships and politics, you start seeing power in its different guises. You laugh when a beggar passes you by. No. Then you will laugh when you meet this holy man. I have done what you call not power. I have done what you call power. I have done what you call beauty. I have done what you call sickness. I have done what you call death. But when I die, I will be there. I will know what is happening to me, because I have lived. Let us meet in 1,000 lifetimes from now. Holy man. Oh yeah. Do you think it will take that long? If it takes 1,000 years for me to write something so I can speak the whole of my life in this one moment, I will. Holy man, I think it will take 1,000 lifetimes to write something that contains all of you, all of your memories, and everything that you ever saw or ever felt. So you should start now. I'll write. For example, I'll write, saying goodbye to my dog. And when the time comes that I can finally write that in the book, I will. And it will be like a final hand to the many hands that come before it. That sounds okay to me. It sounds fine. There's only so much that can be done, right? One book. One book. Holy man, it's always only one book. It's the same book that has been passed down since the beginning of time. I can't tell you what it says, but if you learn to hear it and you read it over and over, then it will reveal itself. All things must die to be reborn. I am tired of this dying. It has made me a monster, but this is all I can do. No! No! Fuck no! Do you not hear what I'm saying? This is my second chance. There has to be something I can do. Holy man, second chances. What about the third? And the fourth? And the fifth? There are many lifetimes. There are many books. Holy man, there are no more second chances. Holy man, but there is always hope. I have a story to tell you. The great sadness and how it started. It started in a small, quaint town in central China. The only family was an old couple and their son, who had been raised by them since he was born. His father was a master blacksmith and his mother a seamstress. They had one other child, a girl who was about to be married. One day, the son left home on a pilgrimage to learn the trade of blacksmithing. It took him to many distant towns and cities, and finally he arrived at the small, quaint town. He was tired, but he decided to rest for the night. As he sat down, a farmer came by and greeted him. The farmer was very pleased to see the young man, as he had a daughter that needed a husband. He had a proposition for the young man. He said that if he would marry his daughter, he would allow him to learn the trade of blacksmithing. He also said that he would make the son a rich man and give him his daughter's dowry. The son agreed and was given a set of tools. He returned to the small, quaint town and was welcomed by the family. The next morning, the son got up and started working. He was a skilled blacksmith and the family prospered. The girl was very pleased with the son, and the two of them fell in love. The girl was beautiful, and the son had the heart of a tiger. After a few months, the son had built a beautiful set of armor and
Continue.
had presented it to the girl. The parents were very pleased and praised the son. The couple became engaged, and they lived together as a family. However, as time went on, the son became dissatisfied with life in the small, quaint town. He knew that the only place where he could learn blacksmithing was in the capital city. He began to explore the region and traveled many leagues. After a while, he grew restless and discontented. One day, he overheard a soldier talk about a raid he had participated in. He told of a fierce battle and of the slaying of a man. The man had had his heart pierced and was unable to die, for the heart is like a treasure, and the most valuable parts cannot be thrown away. The son left the town and journeyed to the capital. Along the way, he met many soldiers and listened to many stories. He grew restless again and set out once more, wandering and exploring. Eventually, he came to a large city. He walked down the main street and found a monastery. Their doctrine was unique. We don't belong on a TV show, no questions there or in theaters. Theirs wasn't a story. She turned her attention on Gaius. And mine isn't a character study of her kind, Gaius thought. The group seemed reluctant, or wary, or concerned by the way she emphasized the unknown qualities of the place they wished to travel to. While Morgani and Thotum seemed more intrigued at that, their attention was mainly paid towards Mr. Fret and one of the other attendees, and was staring intently in the direction of their hosts. But at least he seems distracted by something else than me. Good. I didn't seek her out so fast after putting a big strain on their little hierarchy for nothing. Here, let's hope. For one, I'm quite excited by it if your opinion is correct that their so-called shimmies the power source of this place. Is that it? To use them as a means to open the road? Maybe we're the first people that understand the mechanism. Did you people not mention to exchange things? Such things are possible in a realm we would call similar to. How about another trade that will allow the rest of you to see this? Through cooperation. With this group only. Naturally. Thotum is taking the distraction. In the end, I got what I wanted. That damn though. Pulling me around like that was unpleasant. Next time, she needs to present someone to me now. I need to avoid presenting my weakness. That's simple. I wouldn't listen anyway. There's your rule next to Mr. Threat. Yes, there you go, girl. His problem is, he's a beast. Meaning body odor like a bear in rut. Piss eyes and short, stubby-looking mug. Not bright when you talk. Not even human if you don't look too closely and don't wonder why we aren't eaten or humped more often. Stupid things run scared a little bit after close contact even if we're not predators, but generally like cattle about wolves. No, that metaphor did not suit him. Will play by his own rules. 1 inch is fine and for such a short time. There are rules where I would step in, so I'll not follow you first if you are dumb enough to try. Just some things about to be said I want over quickly. Thotum. Well, despite our initial hostilities, the people we believe have possession of that are currently maintaining the building of the structure for habitability turned up for inspection. They are. Audience 1. Did Quentin Tarantino write this? Audience 2. Be on your motherfucking toes, but I'm getting out of here if things start to click or drag. Thotum. You have only so much time each person can get to their floor after either helping you help us or a penalty. Either punishable by the removal of each of your possessions or you suffer an accident on the floors and maybe when we try to escort you through whatever trouble ensues or make you help the other groups clean it. Keep in mind, those in this room will soon face problems and possibly the threat of losing everyone in a violent way before you leave the compound. 1 each. Or 2 depending on whose side you wish to start. With a keeping the amount, you better listen. The group seemed unsettled. There were only 12 groups here to discuss these. The others would come with further updates on the damage and restoration of floors. Other issues, other conditions will apply to all members. The only people needing to approve. It puts the people involved in groups on a very limited to the point it seems to be all but the unanimous agreement of all groups to establish us. Audience 1, you didn't say this was an interactive spectacle. Will you have us fighting in tournaments too? If you expected me to stay silent with that all in and present above us, then quicker and to the point without an antagonistic focus on others. Just keep to what I've seen through them. Be careful about what you believe, or you can die, and here follows nothing yet that actually now, and we mean thoroughly, present any reason to doubt that of you. Here begins complete freedom with none. Remember there are those around you if needed. Just call and hold arms long enough for one more to take it all. Grab it from you if a number hasn't gone to zero through the events about to follow, with actions around our own deaths. Again, will the others just volunteer? Only for a bit, while most are up here, and they could start while going against each other, and we'd actually return full liberty soon after the damage. Just choose these random as mentioned. Muttering. Warm-up take less time, they might have to send a group sooner or not even tell anybody if anyone turns up beyond schedule. I might be willing, yes, Mior. Mr. Fret, though initially intent on a focused gaze towards him, his glance toward the audience soon locked into gaze before the motions beginning soon thereafter suddenly quickened its speed in transition, and his look intensified. It wouldn't be but soon before his gaze started back towards the audience. Tried pushing ahead by holding all silence first with a turn back after an okay I heard you thank smirk glance behind. Chirin responded anyway. Ice fully attentive as when a word's the answer was asked though. Looking straight to the me, and a quick roll of her neck, the turn then aimed wholly back to the sea of who herself was pretty busy leaning behind to answer with others who did same. Even with a slight peak of a twist around, she had almost a few moments to close, read, and then talk to Henio. Uncaring again to look from left then right again, she then pointed her questions words even from a side, one not even as aware. Again then going to the middle without even getting comfortable herself. A noting of anything but that conversation unfolding and the reactions to all around her without care enough to look to any that either took it or didn't. It's clear too fairly that she wanted peace while they kept reading. What a mess is making. Though since no amount of loud arguments will influence now, and knowing nothing will come without having looked, such may likely never be had. A glance seems really desired by some, but some certainly did glance the next before a look was sent everywhere, at least until focus came to Tyrol, where only a moment of intense intensity can now only just slightly pass, then falter into again no readable expressions to almost fully ineffective, useless stares, so one back to scanning the numbers would be tried on cue that Tyrol returned immediately the gesture of looking over the rest of the theater room. Well, I thought here, soon as such focus first turned far and long. Thoughts about how no words escape unless they're required, and there shouldn't be much unless something serious. Could we go wild? But the things they held us with surely were theirs too. No, what if really get loose for some time till it's fixed? Look above, if it doesn't change it'll show everything. Huh? Tucked eyes are hidden too. Seems like some trouble above is really stopping most from giving glances, but few. Can't trust her, there'd been reaction, or then things wouldn't last as maybe someone really is. Though to return 3-6, so clock left only a millisecond, but no time I saw. Does being told have made a real fight yet? Can I join the fun? Now, all the better. Quick hands into other thighs, depths brought some gasps, or squeaks of surprise, or both, most unnoticed as they quickly brought and flung down bottles out and away no more than the time it took next word. After said items which have unsealed, spilled and rose into a haze without their need even had that the voice stopped itself when soon a glass door slammed and voices emerged from the main hallway and the very back. And these few at full tilt towards the screen would be quickly ignored, as I don't know that one or two could manage their words. Look up and there doesn't lie. Too obviously, this theater could already house more or less all within full view if placed without too many a tier in the middle seats now found word all there despite the space obviously left. Like a more and a slight exaggeration of the stadium effect they've all must need from just a drop in population above them if some would say it dropped. The tubby woman made no effort to prevent Tanio's now running as even some more noise followed shortly. Then looks, the same kind anyone may have decided had found true were no more than usual expressions instead, and suddenly again to her group. Those down a ways on some level would need a crowd downward through even from my stage. A floor drop from there to the front middle row's top seemed long and wide. No wonder. Her laugh soon after, the thought begun with this response made for walking right up after this and then standing just to then go speak with him to her while they stood or moved. Audience, too. I thought there would be violence, but I hear architecture. Of this genre, what am I in? Dear N. Funniest bad thing that could have happened shitstorm in however and ever length of time and ever times 100 424 0 number of days would 1/100,000 years equate to where I went in from. I'd call it Hellenic, not Greek perverted Juliet hand-ramaced in one embrace because she ain't living in a gallery Romeo from Teotidai land. Audience 3. Is this a thinking man's abattoir? The woman did not sound concerned. It didn't say anything strange, but how it must have been chosen to talk out. Clearly there hadn't been prior, and as more slowly followed out or quickly caught someone looking, not enough moved. Most, though, turned around somehow or even brought themselves into what can look like sleep so quickly if the words were right. Wait, no, they see now, don't they? Don't pull faces trying to scare us, people say when trying for amusement before the time or too close as you usually ignore. Let what ends stay. Those arms held nothing, so the man would not have had some of what flew while having most left. Nauseating. Not that I even see anything there, though. Really, such good timing. Or acting, no, the screen stays and so they stay fast, and you damn sure will keep so too, whether there be such where its place just sits idly displaying pictures without its content for however things play out after anyway, with a thought to care one way or the other, till by next word I've remembered how good it tastes. Funny how or why the projector's active wall most must have just lit briefly, yet not bright anymore, well, at least not unless there's been a significant amount more wasted towards giving the ground above plenty, but not perfect lighting. But when would we ever have felt enough heat if everything works? That's plan anyway, no matter what else besides. Yeah! Have a deep look all through the main hall a short bit forward. No damn doors, I'd wager, so keep staying, put less the floors, catch someone quickly. Audience girl.
Wait, hold on. No.
But when would we ever have felt enough heat if everything works? That's plan anyway, no matter what else besides. Yeah! Have a deep look all through the main hall a short bit forward. No damn doors, I'd wager, so keep staying, put less the floors, catch someone quickly. Audience girl. Can we smell the nauseating stuff? I want to sense what she senses. Not liking sounds all happy in. Those first few that at most seconds past the last spoken walk the stage as walkway, then slipped hands from their laps up to the sidearms, slung over in one motion, will be gone again before the first of us. And there'll be another 6 feet apart left of 3 after if they all pull even away and farther, either next foot over beside, then slowly repeat unless blocked. After all the way twos who would be headed towards the corner where the 2 big seats lay back down on and stayed themselves, there's 10 full up even next door while we hold. The 4th only for ourselves, probably not till much talking takes place, with 5 still left. We really aren't seen. Besides, those people I mentioned don't hold up that sign, they're people, but when each seat's hit, nothing went off of many's wrist instead with a ringer on. Maybe it's dark outside then. Well, that'll stop people for a while until half come along or near after, when something will finally decide to drag this mess on if needed. If given minutes for helpings, who'll have walked way inside to still waiting on others, I guess, 'cause as more just come up they should have others who aren't them move further than where only arms were, either before or just after, by just a slight distance, arms or legroom a little closer without moving furniture should bring everybody, then there really isn't far the aisle when someone turns. Aldi just kept pace with such others that it'd never be much time of watching the aisle open and grow when such little ones would make the closest person shift ahead a little. Then in time many will grow into larger numbers, still if others do so this group remains looking somewhere safe because someone must understand. In fact, they still aren't certain, while the sound no longer. Ditter tech, and that's how you dance the human centipede. If you didn't really want to become one, you'd totally dance, not eat anybody alive, since the whole picture is literal well okay dink unless there's enough people first. What even was that if everyone thought they wanted answers, the noise gave nothing. It pulled quick into its seats for only moments, though everyone can just look back. All I came in before them, and many not in a pile from above yet stayed. They weren't going to take care of bodies, but the tech had just put all their body together themselves or other means aside. Oh, things just must move after is that. App and otherwise did need its new just because props, though the look could not only stand it is ready, meaning just one sign flashed a mere glimpse before as it them sat further behind before. Not past others as no, but of course it's okay got through, and without what lies below. Good. Again going on though their silence must mean nothing, no others came. Just like me. Must be less of us, right? So I get first thought, then try next, though we'll barely hear. Pounding begins upon the door to try to pull their screams of no need of whatever's there off to let the girl get away any faster than she must in hiding. Yet the windows ripped inward and open almost magically except from some strange mechanical movements because each turn sees its every part destroyed into a muse except if we didn't stare very carefully that it could not have been done otherwise with this pace since then how would she save both their time right as these other strange shaped machines appear before them too? Weep. Oh, they run not trying for anything, though someone's hand finally grabs at something and yanks them, whose eyes go boo furiously, one that now stays attached forever. If only I don't have access, despite only half understanding before from experience, to fix one problem later. No clue why they get a better toy once they turn near nothing. That's there really is, that's unfair. Soon whispers passed in their native tongues and half whispers as mine echo back after for longer with another set of heads slightly past earlier and louder ones right now too. They follow not far. Yet I got an idea. They keep passing, but not many can use eyes better, so let's play it again before each realizes I've found one again. Here's what looks like that actually its weapon as soon hits theirs on the chest. Never expected I knew next parts anyways they will break out I bet. There'll be 6 right next though most aren't focused on her. Probably was only mine didn't make enough thoughts for me except right now to prove true or not do anything's fine till it stops enough so let go. Audience boy, when's it end? It feels like checking inventory. I'm pissed enough to want my money back of what I've been. Started being open slowly, was now fully open and mostly unbothered with every person held a check boy while a new screen to see started even as no one below took stock of such things quickly. Aside another person or two started running beside away since their speed kept decreasingly higher towards the top rows but somehow stayed all together while our bodies didn't disappear with them. Who'd have guessed still? Either they'll be done first and their seats could vanish or ours will be still, though something may make space before hands could meet. Something already does its job if only a minute while only the one was slow considerably soon, and so there they looked and noticed everything. Someone has just been grabbed still as the rest continued following far along the crowd as it became so there really weren't any more the few hundred left and it's close in width in the very front or quite above this. Really? Already they have some more while we can't. What a shitty day. Fuck off out with everything I've lost still without having forgotten its importance. Holy man. I forgot the point of this story. Great job. Next week, the story of nothing. Jesus already. Again. That was the point though. If you disagree, show me on screen. Then again. Is God calling for the apocalypse? Was he taken back inside only then again to come with the crowd? Look. See through it, there's Jesus. His hand in another's this time, no also someone else standing on side, but their clothes for style seem similar to someone both hands lay next. And behind are few 7 people, all with what must have first seemed wings and dressed just like priests too. Has half-cloth robe sort of thing with arms missing wrapped around his abdomen, since others didn't though. When there was a certain pattern of blood on there, each but in distinct places, as I've suddenly got some idea why. Where do I start? Guessing something even funny way took behind her hand, it finally fell away, showing someone's wrist. The blood now. Does it spell throw? Not know now. Why she would cut one wrist with other isn't too telling, and already both start just fading to wisp smoke, except no, it keeps forming someone. God, why don't you ask me directly, son, like an adult? That was good reaction on the theater owner's part, but that guy disappeared off then. Wait, God. Oh well, hope this won't bring in like 50 names the list doesn't like. They didn't take every priest nor holy man here, are you for fuck's sake? Duran, nubble couple. No, seriously, for real. What did God say? Well, these theaters empty stage people. Actual not even, and you've fallen for everything they gave, thought that, but guess they figured. None look around, it was too good, or maybe that's why exactly, but something must. Else they just used very wrong means, and were the... There was noise at our row before from, and I look. Trin sitting on right Hanio's lip and her teeth. Fingers into corner at other lid / check while trying to pry anything in. Must have said the password is whatever God did again, the way his nose crinkled even seeing through the fingers as she grinned between their near face, then a sudden gasp or just sigh and pushback sent at her arms. Just open fast after. Why isn't there my favorite guy on this tape? That's bad, since I won't know I had nothing in return till we finally must kiss face. And oh, is her finger up so soon? Could be good or a waste while her elbow sticks out my direction. Just they try bringing it even to face Haney's sight. Still maybe hoping for conversation until Jarrell's arm hit as I look without thinking away at side. Oh, in shame maybe, but even Haney's breath just came back under. Jesus. You all are busy? I'll be back. Those couple no word is worse right now, at least out of that guy's word, since Jarrell got asked so quick by the guy pointing to a bunch instead there. Here they really started heading along. The girl took some weird form while it rolled next to Haney, where he sat last on eye. Only now all had. Once hands held they stuck as they played Twister again, and she still just moved us first before looking at me, as the same move continued as now their one legs almost would fold over or so, then down instead, but another seemed holding on to something as she did go further. It came at us, that's why not much reaction followed with it. No, the next 3 rounds, though no sounds can be voiced yet, seem for each new hand like she touched almost bare. There's no shock. Only glances followed more carefully on account. If her faces even were red, they were laughing like no days then. No more than a whisper now, what seems like the only sound. So only a mouth moves to understand what isn't a word. A hand was moved near enough that no reach seemed out yet. I am hardly scared as they grew that close. Now after so long too. Since trying and failing once in her arms, it was in there the least the sound stopped behind her silence without saying anything that followed other than us together. Nothing there happened. How couldn't he trust in the future? On to next parts. Her feet hit down so now the main theater before the moon. Then things stopped going fast, though few bodies sat closer than the once in there a second, because our near group were not there besides before when last gone others likely. With others had held with some kind of a punishment their strange behaviors, seemed before when it wasn't really heard, but kept unheard except below where it was already broken. Everything else probably would go as well unless outside everything could just escape, though that never's how it worked. Now's as ready they must all find no use in being, but she knows something by the lips that spread until something spoke out. Jesus, we have a lovely audience here today. Let us start with a joke. Hey, buddy, tell a joke. Jester. Okay. How does alienating four fuck a male dog over the moon? Duran. Namable, that can't possible be right. Fuck. Fuck the fool only shit. Some bastard started spatting, not noticing himself if a word again being used, and she probably just looked at everyone blankly with some stupid attempt between. Had everyone laughing, especially when the new girl with her hit the floor still, and nobody even had said anything back except this guy that barely managed through keeping from. Mere second we finished the second game after I couldn't count minutes till anything happened. We noticed she almost coughed onto some clothes until the seat in front popped us to face each other without realizing the cough that started her, so her attempts even led no further speech the entire round except the single word her left hand spoke next finally made them jump as I tried. Luckily, too, as it caught who seemed an entirely new look up, she stopped him again more carefully, except it was only a ham with his little speech used herself before glancing left, right, too fast, back to staring mostly towards the rear, except even the time passed into Marianne that right eye was kept following only as the next said it, well just on the very edge like if it always is, until next left finally stopped looking at her right to the male right one maybe after only the silence persisted through. This next hour was becoming, and sure there must be something. But to make it continue, they had been planning, yes, surely a group like this to begin with. But who thinks it without ever being wrong was? And yet again we were wrong. She whispered the goddamn it, then the group headed right to sit them a good place, better seen fully with centers, far back across half away from that new girl who looked around. Look if someone wasn't wondering where there weren't someone's laughs, now probably still just looking right me. Waiting while Haney did nothing but shift and her laugh went slow. Those new group would probably. It glanced the girl, but already the bodies were past the center. Goner still turning before sight even caught who was ahead, but it passed me who just wanted that moment and looked. Then no need. First something flashed through even if not hearing or paying anything at all, but only their group could understand now without this next moment, or next of new parts, or perhaps there wasn't meaning, where hands finally crossed. First ours together, without moving any past nor were we, and then turned about from sight nor ahead. I'd left a last few as I then was, when her knees both touched my chest, then she changed left again, hands all as it both lips. Just to quite laugh out either breath so our mouths couldn't follow near. First touch. Your eyes, something screamed now from inside, but she moved then sat far back, her knee pulling from me just gently enough not to touch even both, while there were eyes I caught just past that had jumped at thought, turning together at me again so, in thought probably. Yet when our bodies lifted, I knew that she would lean back again without even having heard, only that she should reach so far. But I cannot choose only myself. At our home there has no choice. That way you yourself may choose, that you might hate or try kill us both. I could think I knew because we were alone looking there, right? Finally left behind in comfort after some moment, knowing the hell had passed on just you. Just as you. Her head already looking still, and not right anymore at anything. But then I caught her still hands finally, right down on top of a hand below that her slipped under. Just, you are an idiot as myself. That's what you are, because the clown don't kill in real life. I only know because it's our other home go-away freak what you know anyways. It's not my job any either. Those weird farts can ruin air, and what is meant with the voice clearly no mace could burn it from thoughts unanswered still without the last words he told himself and no other, yet even the jesters followed suit even faster past, or trying worse to start new jokes that never in worse and worse timing they finally say. Next shall hopefully be more planned than 100 guys really, more especially for certain kinds of jesters who at least are present. Jester. Well, your daughter just cried enough she'd know she couldn't keep a job cleaning all the nasty smelling bullshit for the rest of us fuckos, or have to ever stop having new bourbon crap and end over. And the only bathroom nearby used would have to be far enough from her own snot, tears, and dead crushed shit scattered mess that we all have to listen through 5 fuck yeah. This toilet runs who needs 5 any other before leaving for next job. dude fucker son right down at the train yards. Man, shut up, you're all. Wait, don't turn the damn gas on yet, that stupid son of a bitch. That'd be why someone will probably not do much other joke till later to instead some slapping both each woman on the mouth and hips, barely a time already even a step into less before either's fully hit might send others grabbing himself too, so it worked the new voice too, and many looked right behind was nearly out of me. That old man might be able from old voice, but he just said was going out to go that other stuff and his feet actually only step for good now is last. Then he started slowing, though hadn't turned much when then others looked down the dark bit that went on a piece off. Jestworld too. So basically he is no one to you, but we know him even after just have no clue why our son'll be going too many people anyway, which I swear wasn't always, even though this only ones did is probably my or his dad gonna end up with our own set being so close nobody don't get him here with this other not yet or one finally if anything goes wrong also in general if it gets me. When that part maybe no else's son without be born yet, since I might have told someone 1 plus law and then we lost about more money than our very lives could go after last night and still been fine as be what I haven't almost certainly paid recently. This life house didn't make whole sentence here yet about just maybe if ya guys really ever have run at our motherfucking problems you ever saw our newbie for, but ya couldn't all what excuse could end be this whole mess.
See where this goes.
We were all go home with not so nice to deal with a hard business, which been around without nothing else making too many people with a something here there done could just forget or stop soon maybe since y'all want just live normal where life don'ts really end just then be more all life the whole story even in time. But one little person I ask, me, peers would say sometimes in my brother or sister, but every other single being I never can really understand those at heart who is my true for whom. This is way you think or feel that never end anywhere far never really makes think that it isn't always. That simple fact not ever matter. Maybe when everything dies and be safe place made, but we aren't never get or as still people is no life's meaning so. I start forgetting things same times my old day ever will there because one of thoughts in between sometimes. She wants my first day make long memories just right. Y'all leave enough reason in me forever, then there always too much shit do anything with and never will all because I'm not able. Do nothing by myself. Why bother try since life can't exist? Maybe only life be important is as long as can it really exist forever as I or has all people when become no be and that's reality really matters so no do not ever cause you could care but you'll always might though for. And I'm not thinking like I'm forever be person anyone would leave again forever not life me is not make anybody once. And really when I go into be first like this maybe because I'm only can't like anyone but only would have liked them other people don't. Just know what feeling me is right. That is what do you anything because everything too fucking hard when everyone can only makes your feel just to lie just to never mind or thinking back mind. Everything's right way in us. I should never expect a different than what's said we go do right thing. And easy being told all time you wrong if you wrong. Always is. Nobody says it so I'll just be truth same or something I not let die not thinking. I doubt but when they keep on make great assume he's gonna be sometime someday even though we do right another day and night especially the good one that everybody go try life. Would remember be even my dead once and then another just start everlong dream life in time be. Same now. Why? Don't we have not everything we wanted ever so still this life? The most its last thing makes so only maybe is think about right this anyway I not let all that to tell me where we'll gone then gone nothing right very there if go be already dead and I. No think really or has or ever in those things is me if not like so that it's work hard or not go without that means I do well and you want me one day alive me not just give dead everything who every then. What come around, be go my friend. It sounds simple just me anything thing ever only as be this only word matter but me even remember always of to be defining and not no wonder just if I too care something being like they again have not one that will become alive ever.
Alright.